Welcome to Duke and Ty. Yeah, ne?
My name is Banang and this is my husband, Bukamuso.
You haven't called me your husband in a while.
Wow. Okay, this
Yeah,
is my
well.
husband.
Hey, it's nice to hear.
Bukamuso.
Bizamo time good.
Yeah.
Come on. Uba, just once. Or motan.
Stand.
Yes. See, Yahweh, Layano. So today, just like many days, life happened. I was supposed to be sitting down in our usual set and shooting this week's episode. But hey, life happens. So we decided to take you on the road with us and see what we can shoot while on the move and running errands. I'm driving at 40 because of the fuel situation. So Tota, there isn't anything else that we can do.
Are you really driving at 40?
I'm driving at 40 because of the fuel situation. I gotta do it like a thing. So thank you so much once again for always checking out the videos that we upload. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you're watching this on Facebook, make sure you like the Duke and Ty page so that you can keep up with every single thing that we upload on a weekly basis. And here's to another episode of Car Rides and Conversations, right? Yes.
Alright, so today we're gonna sidebar or talk about something that we don't necessarily talk about a lot. So I saw a post on Twitter. Well, a tweet on Twitter. So there was a question was raised. So there's a lady. She has 2 kids. The 2 children have 2 different fathers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, father number one, is rich. Like rich.
Is he rich?
Rich.
Okay.
So it's a rich dad, poor dad situation.
Oh, okay.
And then the other dad is sort of trying to make ends meet. Like he doesn't have a lot of money. He's struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And then the main question was, what should the mother do if the rich father sends money for his child and says, do this and this and this? He sends a specific sum of money with a specific set of instructions of what should be done for the child.
So let me get this straight. It's a lady and then 2 kids.
2 kids, 2 different dads.
2 different dads. So the other dad, why you khona on alamadi? Second dad, not so much. Getting by, struggling, hustling.
Yeah.
So the question is, if dad number 1 aromela madi gore ngwana a go a rekelwe, let's say expensive clothes, I think that's what the post said.
Yeah.
Maagwe man a itse gore kana dad number 2 doesn't have money go ka romela gore ngwana o mongwe le ena a rekelwe dilwana. So what does the mother do in that instance, right?
Yes.
What are the options? Let's just
Options?
Yeah. Well, what do you think? What do you think should happen? You are the mom, right? 2 kids, different fathers. And then dad number 1 on Alemadi gives you 1.5. Buy my kid Jordans, right? Jordans? Yeah, buy my kid Jordans. Yeah, I wanna get enough fly. I want them looking nice. And then dad number 2, but wherever he can, maybe it's up here or koma chining or what do you do as a mother in that instance? Do you go ahead and buy the other kid Jordans and then boy what do you do?
Well, firstly, I think my first question is, and I'm sure a lot of people are not going to agree with me, but what's the mother doing? Because we're focused on the dads, but we're not focusing on self as the mother of the children. Because everyone is like, this dad can do this. What can the mother do in herself?
Okay. I think for conversation and for debate purposes, let's just remove gore a motho wa mme o na le madi kana wa ikgona. I don't even know if using the word ikgona is the right word. I apologize if it's offensive in any ways. But ke rela gore a re ntshe equation ya gore meyo and o irang a ona le madi ga ana madi, because ha ntse a lo ka nna re nya ene o ta rekela ngwana o mongwe, right, if the dad buys for the other kid.
But if you remove the mother from the situation, then can't you remove the rich dad from the situation?
No.
You see, if people can be removed from situations, then you can remove everyone.
Babe, no.
No, but my point here is that everyone involved has like a stake or a role to play in the situation. So we're absolving her of any like financial responsibility to the children, and we're placing it solely on one guy because
okay. So here's my take. Yeah. What I would do, I'll take the role of the mother here.
Okay.
I personally feel like you should raise your kids equally and give them equal opportunities and equal treatment, regardless of the different dads, right? So if that lady only 1.5 Jordan, and then the other kid, clearly the dad will not be able to afford those Jordans, I say the mother split the money into half and buy these kids same clothes and treat them equally. Yeah. If it means maybe a local retailer, not necessarily Jordans, let her do that. That's what I think should happen in that situation. Is it fair to the father who's providing for the one kid? I don't know. But now my main focus here would be on making sure that these kids are raised in an equal manner and they're given, the same sort of, I give it a lifestyle, but yeah,
standard.
Yeah, standard and equal treatment. I'm biased. I feel like I'm biased in this instance towards the kids. What do you think should happen?
I think, honestly, if I tell you to do something with a specific set of instructions, like, it's not the same as if I just give you money, I'm like, here you go, take care of the child. But if I give you money and I'm like, do this and this and this and this, and then you don't do this and this and this and this, what then motivates me to keep because I fear for an instance where this man, who is the rich dad,
excuse me,
he finds out
excuse me,
he has been raising both children.
Yeah.
And he is not happy about the fact that
yeah.
So then what happens in that instance? Then what happens if the dad decides, you know what, it's fine, I've been asking you to do this and you're not doing this, so I will then take matters into my own hands. All these fancy things for Ena. I feel like this sort of thing requires like consultation. You need to sit with the rich dad, talk to him, explain the situation to him, and it's quite an unfortunate situation, but his consent is necessary because you took him to court. Or if you didn't take him to court, but if you take him to court, you're taking him to court to do what? To raise his child.
Take care of his kid, yeah.
You're not taking him to court to raise all of the children. You're taking him to court for his child if you were going to take him to court.
Yeah.
So then what then binds him into every month providing things are not done the way he said they should be done? This is worst case scenario.
I like the point, consultation. Yeah. But I know, well, in a perfect world, we would have these guys getting along,
Yeah.
But in reality, we know it's not a lot of men who would want to raise other people's, or it's not a lot of guys who would want to raise another man's child. They could be providing as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how that consultation would go, but I'm still biased to saying, as the mother, at the end of the day, you should have the last say. And when I decide, okay, but they might have different dads, but equally. I'm gonna take care of them equally. I know I'm biased.
No, the thing is, I don't disagree with taking care of the children equally. My main concern here is buy in, the other parent. Without the rich dad's buy in, then what stops him from suddenly just cutting off and doing everything himself? What stops him from saying, since you are unable to care for my child in the way that I would have liked my child to be cared for, what then stops him from saying, then what happens to the other child? I feel like the greatest thing here is the other parent's buy-in. Like, he needs to know the situation.
Okay, I understand that.
Yes.
I think you talked about buy-in.
Yeah.
Let's take it a step further. Rich dad says, nah, I don't want to take care of that kid. What then do you do as a mother? I want you to assume the role of me in this situation.
As a mother?
Yeah, as the mother.
As the mother in question, I think then if they're both my kids, I get it.
Yeah.
But only one has like a dad who wants to splurge and not necessarily not once, but can afford to.
Yes.
So as the mother, I feel like it then becomes my responsibility because they're both my children to somehow like find a way to make ends meet. Not relying on this rich father, because I feel like at some point it's a bubble. I feel like it's a bubble. Like, what happens if then the rich dad then comes into a sort of a situation where he cannot care for all the children? I think as a mother, the responsibility then lies with me to ensure that the kids have like as normal a lifestyle or as a similar standard. But if they're both living with me, of course they'll have like a similar standard of living. The only difference is that then Omumu, his dad, occasionally comes to get him, and then the other one. So then the question becomes, how do I then meet that gap as a mother? Because I think the issue is that I am trying to meet the need, the child support that I'm getting from one person.
Yeah.
I'm trying to meet both needs. So then how... I don't know how best to put it. It's a difficult situation. Because as a mother, I could take the money, spread it out evenly.
Yeah.
But what happens if I do not have buy-in or the agreement, the other one? You risk losing everything. You risk that person then saying,
yeah, it's quite a difficult, tricky situation. I think in such instances, there's no right or wrong.
Because the question now becomes, you as the mother, if you were the mother, would you blame the rich dad for saying, no, I don't want to take care of both. I want to take care of just mine?
No, I wouldn't.
So then what would you do? Would you carry on splitting the money? I think it's simpler, but what of things like if he now takes it into his own hands, if he takes matters into his own hands now, how then are you going to bridge? There's still a gap, so how do you then bridge that gap?
Yeah. It's quite tricky. Let me switch over to the slow lane petrol situations over here. Yeah, so man, feel free to let us know how and how you treat this. If you were the mother, I think it's a much more interesting debate if you take the role of the mother. If you find yourself in such an instance, ngwana e leng gore wena you are comfortable, you can buy Jordans, you can buy Nikes. What did you expect to happen in this instance?
And also in Nakanya, I think there's so many little intricacies that you never really think of.
Yeah.
So then there's the struggling dad, the trying dad, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And then what of an instance where the trying dad now suddenly he makes like a little something extra, and then for Christmas he can buy like his kid Jordans.
Why not also direkela?
Jordan.
Yeah.
So what if then this one, I get it, he's trying. So once in a while he can buy this huge thing, this gesture. So then what happens to the other one now? Are you then gonna say no, Busadi Jordan, and buy both of them because I've been taking money from his dad to do this? I feel like it's like there's so many complications.
Yeah. So many things at play.
Yeah, like I know what happens because this one's gonna be so happy. I have Jordans.
Yeah.
And then, I think it's way more complex than we would like to believe it is. It sounds simple, but it's
yeah.
Because you have to take care of both children, and by virtue of them living together,
yeah.
Yeah, so then how do you ensure that you provide the same lifestyle or the same standard of living? Because with things like food and groceries, it's pretty standard, it's pretty basic. They'll eat the same thing. The difference, so it's more of a, I don't know, how do I call it? I don't want to say superficial, but
it's more from the nice haves.
Yeah.
I think it nice haves.
Yeah. So then it becomes difficult because with the nice haves, ability to provide such nice haves is less.
Yeah. So I think in closing for me, it's a stance. I'm taking the role of the mother here. I'll split equally and treat my kids the same because kids at the end of the day, when they become grown-ups, they mimic what they were taught as children. So in you treating them equally, you are teaching them a lesson but always treat everybody around you equally, regardless of motho onale bokgoni ja go karaka dio tse eleng gore kana ke motho e leng gore hana treat people equally. If you walk into an organization the helper or the ladies who clean, treat them the same way you treat the CEO. So for me, it's always those little life lessons that we instill in our kids.
When CEO and then when you see the cleaner hit there, like
Utika, the place that you're using for lunch. So for me, it all trickles down to the little lessons that you instill or the little principles that you instill in your kids. And I'm so grateful that I get to have these kind of conversations with you because I think to people who are raising kids out there, we know not all of us live in ideal situations where you'd have a mother, father, kids. Sometimes it's mother and kids who are fathered by different dads, or you have fathers with different kids go different with different mothers. So let's just take care of our kids, man. We know these things happen, and let's do the best that we can. At the end of the day, let's remember that we're all human, and let's treat each other as human. Yeah, so that's it from me in closing. And I'm looking forward to more car conversations as we search for fuel. Eka ko. Man. Yeah, you can close with.
I think for me, in closing, I'd say it's really not. It's not an ideal situation. It's a difficult situation, but discussing it is necessary. Because at the end of the day, things always come out. Like if you make a decision and out of fear that they might have disagreed. You never know. Maybe had you sat them down and given them that opportunity, they would have agreed to take care of bana botle. But just making decisions alone without having others present knowing what's happening, because if they know what's happening, then instances like getting this and then the other not getting this would likely be reduced.
Yeah.
So I think it's necessary to have like these conversations. Thing is,
babe, you're closing. Babe, you're going back to the whole conversation.
No. I'm trying to say that it's not all about finances.
Yeah.
So it should be more about like the
Yeah, my wife can speak, eh? Baby, we're closing. We've had this discussion. So let's close.
Thank you guys for checking out today's episode of Doek and Tie.
Apologies for the bumpy, the shaky video while driving. So.
If you have any issue that you'd like us to sort of
weigh in
on,
yeah,
then please do feel free. Yep. To all of our subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing, and to all of the people who have liked, thank you a great deal. And that is all from us today.
Hey, monna kombi wira. Hey.
You're going at like 40.
Yeah, you can't. No indicator, nothing. Just switch it. It's people like this, eh?